Hey, everybody out there in YouTube land, welcome to another episode of the Sidewalk Saint with your brother Phil. Today we're going to talk about who the hell I am. So, there's this guy trying to give good advice, and he's talking like he knows a lot of stuff. Uh, well, who the hell is he? Well, my name's Phil, uh, and I've been awakening since I was a child. I was born with my chakra of my spine chakras are completely open. My kundalini's been awakened since I was a child. And it wasn't some beautiful, amazing path on the way up. Yeah. So it was more like darkness consumed me. Not that I became darkness, but more like, let's say, I was getting choked in my sleep by dark entities. Something was continuously attacking me and making me suicidal, and it was, I don't even know, man. I was just taking acid and just being a crazy, crazy kid, man. I was just crazy. Things didn't fit in for me. I didn't fit in school. I didn't fit in any real groups. I wasn't really tight with any people, except for I found a few brothers from my soul group as I got older. That was cool. Anyways, so this will have to be a multi-part thing that I'm going to talk about. But my open, basically, I was open to anything powerfully spiritual, but I was in a dark place, so I was attracting the wrong stuff, as those things do, and that's pretty standard. Yeah, your vibration is what you attract, so that's what that is. As I grew up, actually, as a young man, say late teens, I couldn't stand the stress and anxiety was just overwhelming, and just it seemed like I always knew I had a purpose, but I didn't really get any direction with it at that time. So and then I had like a big accident with some friends, and like I just decided for like 3, 4, 5 years where I spent all my free time meditating. I didn't even know what I was doing. No one ever told me or taught me or showed me or whatever. Or I just knew I needed to be peaceful, and I found me a spot on the beach, highly appropriate, where I could be alone anytime I wanted. And I spent, I don't know, tens of thousands of hours there. Like, I would just go there all the time whenever I felt stress. When I wasn't at work, I just spent a lot of time alone, relaxing and trying to figure out how to not be stressed out, how not to be just overwhelmed with unbelievable anxiety. It was just absolutely overwhelming. I was like, this is not how I'm supposed to be. This is not my life. There's no way this is what's supposed to be going on. And I was kind of a screw up. I was always smoking weed and drinking a lot to block me off from what I was feeling. I didn't know then that's what I was doing, but I know now that's what I was doing. And a lot of us have done that and still do. Once in a while, I'll have a couple beers so I can just shut my brain off because it's not saying things I want to hear. As many of us have that problem. That's a big thing. I haven't been on the screen as myself in a long time, so I just want to say hi to everybody. Here I am. So this is your brother Phil. This is what he looks like. I hope it's something worth looking at. But anyways, um, and so I did a lot of meditating for tens of thousands of hours. I spent every spare minute I had at that spot just sitting and meditating and focusing on things. On a side note, I had very randomly like met a friend that was traveling to Vietnam. I went with him and met my wife over there, and then we were doing that sort of stuff. Also, that was an amazing adventure. I could write a freaking book about that. But it was all kind of, things were starting to roll together. I just randomly met my wife over there. And we were doing paperwork, and she would call me every day. It was fantastic. What a kind and sweet young lady. Still my wife now. So God, I don't know how many years. 15 years later. Anyways, But that was all kind of going on at that time. That was just the minutia of moving forward for me. Traveling and going to another country changed me 100%. I'd say going to Vietnam and seeing what it's really like in the third world made me a man. But I was already just kind of this person that would just, was kind and generous and doing these things. And I'm not trying to toot my horn. That's just who I was and who I am now, even more. And in the neighborhood, I just made a lot of friends. It was a really amazing, special, beautiful experience to see how hardcore it is in other countries. And what we got here is a beautiful thing. And everywhere else in the world's copying us for a reason. Even European countries, they're not even close to where we're at. And that's why other countries follow us. Not that we're better than them, but we're further ahead on things and how things get better. And I just came back peaceful and different and grateful for everything. I left being like, I was damn near, I was kind of an activist, and so were some of my friends. And I came back and I was like, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to be part of the problem. I'm not going to contribute to the problem. And that changed me a lot. I came back just grateful. I decided in my mind that I was grateful that if I was only even allowed to be here for one day in absolute pain, the fact that I even had the opportunity to even be here at all for even one day, feeling anything. This is the physical plane we get to be. When we're there, we're just light. That's great. But here is real. And you get to come here. There's a long waiting line for this place. Let me tell you something. A long line, the longest in the galaxy. More people want to come here than any other place because this is a very special planet. But yeah, and so eventually my wife to be, I went over and married her, brought her back, and she was pregnant on the way over, blessed with my son, and that just, she was worried I didn't want to have kids because that's kind of a known thing in the world that Americans won't have kids till they're established. I was overjoyed and still am. My boy is, now I have two, and it's amazing. I'm grateful. But as for my spiritual awakening moving forward, that changed me big time. I used to hate kids. I couldn't, you can't stand a kid that's just screaming and yelling. And you're just sending bad energy to that situation. You can't, man. You gotta understand. It's hard, man. Kids are tough. Understand when the kid's screaming and yelling. Just smile, man. Just smile. But that was a big transformation for me, actually, and helped me very much so to heal my inner child, to be able to give love to children and feel empathy for the mom and understanding for the child. And I really, completely healed my inner child through those sort of things. And then over there, my wife babysitted kids, and they called me Uncle Phil. And, I just wasn't used to kids, and they were just so wonderful. And they'd crawl all over me and we'd just play and hang out, and we'd ride around on bicycles with the baskets and take care of our neighbors' kids. And I'd never done anything like that. And we'd sing Bob Marley songs. It was hilarious. It was so much fun. And all these kids are grown up now, and I'm Uncle Phil still. And it's like I got a whole nother family out of the deal. That was a really special experience. But that changed me a lot spiritually. A lot, a lot, a lot. You gotta love the kids, because, if there ever was really a purpose for you being here and you didn't know what it was, I would just tell you, well, I guess you haven't had children, because creation is definitely the purpose. And we're not all here to have kids. I'm not hating on people that don't have kids. But yeah, it's a big deal to heal your inner child and see, you just feel all that love when you see a kid. It's so special. Just even seeing a kid doing something silly, it's so fun and happy. No matter where you're at in your life, it just pulls you back in and makes you see happiness again. So that's the beauty of pulling out your inner child through them, seeing them, and just going through that. But anyway, this is going to have to be a multi-part series, so I'm going to have to check out. I hope this was interesting, and I hope this resonated with you, and we'll be doing, probably this will be about a 10-part series. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.